And welcome back to Oklahoma Chronicle. Edmond State Senator Kristen Thompson joining us here today, a Republican representing District 22. My district, you are my state senator.
I am.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
Oh my
Appreciate
gosh,
it.
of course. Glad to be back.
Well, I'm glad to have you on, and I always want to have you on because every time I look down, there's a new bill with your name on it that is advancing in some capacity through the Senate, through committee, gets signed, the governor signs things. So we got a lot of stuff that I want to catch up with you on. The Olympic Fund.
Yeah.
That you just, was this $100 million that you're putting aside? I wasn't sure exactly how this works other than it's about infrastructure and businesses heading into the Olympic Games that'll be held here.
So $100 million is going to be the anticipated overall cost for the entire LA 28 in Oklahoma City.
Okay.
So the state is going to partner with, we're targeting about $25 million. That looks to be the state's share.
Okay.
We haven't nailed down an exact number, but that's where we're probably going to land this year. The city has put money in. The Greater Oklahoma City Chamber is contributing. I know that they're engaging our federal partners as well. And then, of course, the private sector is going to have an opportunity to engage as well.
Is there a feeling that this is really an opportunity? Cities don't get this type of
That's
chance.
right.
I mean,
That's right.
Is there we can't mess this up sort of thing?
We absolutely cannot. This is truly a once in a lifetime opportunity, not only for our city, but for our state. This does not happen. And so the beautiful thing about it is we get to show off our whole state.
Right.
There's probably not going to be a hotel within 4, 5, 6 hours of driving distance from Oklahoma City. So the economic impact is going to be phenomenal. This is probably going to be a lot of folks' first time visiting. And so I also view it as a business recruitment opportunity. There's a lot of things going on. You bring new folks to Oklahoma and they're like, oh, I had no idea. We have one of the best food and bev scenes in the country.
Very much true.
I mean, James Beard Award, chefs right here in Oklahoma City. So it's going to be a really big deal.
And part of the money that you've set aside in this is set aside for businesses, correct?
Yeah, so we're going to need things to actually put on this big event, right? Bleachers. It's going to be July, so if you're sitting on the bleacher, you're probably going to want to sit under some shade. So we're going to have some sun and shade mitigation things. There's going to be obviously the athletic village, transportation, additional security.
So it's money going towards exciting things, but also like the really kind of boring stuff that you don't associate, you don't think about all the time, but stuff that we have to have.
That's exactly right. Next time you go to an event, look around, maybe think about, oh, I'm sitting on bleachers. These probably aren't here all the time.
They
that
came
kind of
from
thing.
somewhere.
That's
okay.
Right. That's right.
I see. So,
and we are incentivizing Oklahoma businesses to make sure that at least 5% get some of those contracts.
Okay, great. So you've been out in front of several bills dealing with food, including like food for kids. For example, there's a SNAP nutrition standards bill that you're pushing through that also, I understand, wants to improve the error rate, something we've talked about on this program. How would that bill help? Yeah,
so what we're doing is we're limiting the SNAP benefits going towards things that are non-nutritive, right? And so,
candy,
correct, candy,
drinks.
soda, things, pop, things of that nature. And so we're really trying to increase our health outcomes. We're also, with another bill I know that we're going to talk about, we are looking to check those numbers more frequently to help get the error rate down so we don't have those penalties. The error rate doesn't necessarily mean fraud, and that's something very, very important to understand. I know Director Cartmel has visited with you, I believe, and he has gone through a great explanation of that, but it's very, very important for all of Oklahomans to understand that this does not necessarily mean fraud.
Right.
It can sometimes just mean administrative errors. So the more times we're checking, the better.
So legislatively, how can we improve that? Is there a mechanism that can help improve that?
Yeah, I think when we do programs that help, that require DHS to check and verify things more often, obviously we work very, very closely with that agency to improve upon things that they need. That is one way.
It's basically requiring them to really make sure we're checking more frequently.
Yes, and my bill, especially with the SNAP benefits, I've worked hand in hand with Director Cartmel, make sure that we can get that in alignment with their agency.
The local food to schools program, really quickly, how does that work?
Yeah, this is something I've worked on. This is my second year. It passed off the Senate floor. This is a very special program. So what we're doing is it partners local producers with local schools, and it's a grant. Schools can apply. They can receive up to $100,000 a year for buying local produce and protein from from producers that have been approved by the Department of Ag.
Do school districts, are they open to this? Because I can imagine there's challenges. It's logistically difficult.
It is maxed out every year.
Okay.
The department has a great team in place. They're very helpful in matching those. The schools sometimes, they have, their kitchens may have to learn a little, different ways of preparing that food, but the way it used to be. But I think there's something very special for the kids when they're like, oh, my cheeseburger is from, Farmer Smith's.
I mean, I love saying that personally.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's another bill. In fact, the House version passed this week. It would require the state to do something that it has not done in recent years, and that is to accept a federal food aid program for kids who need it during the school year. Obviously, they go home for the summer. They don't have that anymore. You have a bill that would require the state to accept that federal aid, correct?
Yes, so this is a House bill that I'm partnering with Representative Guys on.
Your name is on it?
Yes. Okay. I'm the Senate author. It has passed the House. And what we're doing here is saying the state shall participate in creating a fund that can also accept private donations. And so we're not requiring the state, if the federal contribution decreases, we're not forcing the state to pay more for it. We're just trying to create an opportunity to receive public-private partnership to feed kids in the summer.
Because you think if you have that sort of partnership, which we've seen that the corporate want in these types of situations. The money's out there.
That's right.
The private money is out
That's
there.
right.
That if that is there, then it should not be an impediment to helping feed kids.
We're just trying to get creative on ways to help feed kids in the summer. We know that there are kids, especially during the school year, that their only meals come from school. So making sure that we can kind of close that gap. We don't want kids to be hungry.
There was some resistance in the House. I know that the Senate, as we've talked before, it's not a done deal on this bill.
That's right.
So is this just one of those that you're just going to go out there and just put your best argument forward and see what happens?
Yeah, I think we're going to have the conversation. I think it's important because we want to make sure, again, that kids are fed. I don't think anyone is going to argue with feeding kids.
Right.
How we go about that is the conversation that we've got to have.
Okay, 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Tell me something that you're working on that you're excited about.
Oh my gosh. I have a school abuse loophole reporting bill that we just passed off the Senate floor yesterday. This one is as a parent, very near and dear to my heart because I think when kids go to school, we always want them to be safe. What we're doing here is that when there's situations of sexual abuse, the school is required to report to an independent law enforcement agency within 24 hours. So we're going to make sure that an investigative body is brought in, conducts the investigation in the appropriate manner, make sure our kids are protected, our educators are protected. We've seen here, even in the metro, there's been some schools that have had to settle some lawsuits, and now that burden is on the property owners in those districts. And so we just think this is really good policy.
Okay. Yeah. State Senator Kristen Thompson with us here today on Oklahoma Chronicle. Thanks for being here.
Oh my gosh, my pleasure. Happy to be with you.